Hi, I'm going to talk about how we figure out scale on our map and the UTM coordinate system. So if you're working on those questions for assignment 2, part 1, this video clip hopefully will help you out with those pieces. So let's take a look at our screen here. All right, so at the bottom of the map, at the very bottom border of the map, you'll find all the information about scale, and you'll see something that looks like this. So there'll be this 1 to 50,000. That's our fractional scale, and that's what I'm looking for you to represent for part 2. We also have 2 bar scales, so kilometers and miles, as well as a representative scale, and that's the 1 centimeter on the map represents 500 meters on the ground. And again, information about the contour intervals, that kind of piece. For your part 2 map, I want you to think about that 1 to 50,000. So this means that one fingerprint on the map is equal to 50,000 fingerprints in real life, or 1 centimeter on the map is 50,000 centimeters in real life or on the ground. 1 millimeter on the map is 50,000 millimeters on the map. So that's the conversion that I want you to be thinking about for part 2. Next, I want to talk about how we use the UTM grid coordinate system. And there's sort of a little example at the bottom of the map, bottom right, just right of center on the map at the bottom, that shows us how to use that method. And so all of the UTM systems on our maps are related to these blue grid lines that we see, the blue grid lines and the blue numbers that we're looking at. So the lines that go up and down, these are our eastings, and the lines that go that are flat, that go from right to left, these are our northings. So if we just focus over here and look at this example. So this example is saying, so try and find the grid reference for the church that they've got identified here in the symbol. So you go to the easting and you read across that easting, so in tenths of that square. So we come across here, so it's 36, and we get to 7/10. So we would write down that number as, I'm just going to get my pen to highlight this. So we write down that number as 36. That's our first part of it. And then we're 7/10 across. So that's the first part of our coordinate there. And then the next part is going from the bottom of the map to the top. So we use our northing values, and we're starting at 94, 94.1, 94.2, 94.3, 94.4, 5, 94.6, and we read across. And that gets us to our, that's getting us to our the appropriate northing from our map here. So we write down 94, and then it's 6/10 of the way, 6/10 of the way through this square. So if we just take a little clip from our map here, which I've got in the slide, we've got our northings outlined here, and that's 18, 19, this one's 20, this one's 17, and then our eastings across the bottom here are 66, 67, 68. So you guys can read numbers, hopefully you're pretty good. So if we wanted to find out, say, the grid reference for these tanks in our system that we've got here. So we're going to go to our easting value. So it's going to be 66. And we got to decide how far across is it there. So I'm going to say maybe it's 7. So I would write down, oh, this is going to be messy, sorry. So I'd write down 6, 6, oh, this looks creepy, 7. And then I need to figure out the next 3 digits. And so going from 19 as my northing value, and I'm going to go up. And I think that, like, if this is the halfway point, I know I'm not going to be above 195. So maybe this is 194. Maybe you think it's 193, plus or minus 1 or 2 in that 3rd digit. So the 7 or the 6 in this example is going to be good enough. So to finish off the northing part of this grid reference here, it's going to be 1, 9, and I'm saying 4. But maybe you think it's 3. That's totally fine. So that's the 6 digits required. And so in the assignment, I've given you some grid references that I want you to follow those grid references and tell me what you see there. And then in other parts of it, it's I want you to give me the grid reference or those 6 digits for that given place. So I think like the front door to Prairie Hall. Great. I will keep working on a couple more videos for you. I've got one on elevation and straight line distance, as well as something to help you out with the last 2 questions regarding land use and relief. Thanks, guys.